there. We are live. Hello there. Let's make sure I'm off mute. Yes, I am. I'm feeling a little bright and vibrant today, real colorful. Hey, Queens, what's good? What is good? What is good? Happy Wednesday. It's Leo season, in case you didn't know. Have I not said that enough? It is Leo season, okay? So I want to do a quick shout out to my birthday queens. Happy birthday, Leos. Happy birthday, Leos. Happy birthday, okay? Let me know what it is you are doing because, we celebrate the whole season, okay? In case y'all didn't know, we celebrate the entire month of whatever our birthdays are. So if you're a Leo, in July or, all the way into August, we're celebrating, right? So let me know how you have been celebrating. And for me, I've just made it every day. It's been a thing, right? Every day there's been something going on. And so today's no different. For me, though, I'm planning on spending some me time. I am taking a staycation and just, lightening my load, creating some more spaciousness in my day on my calendar and just taking time for me, some me time, well-deserved, long overdue me time. So let me know what it is you're doing, how you've been celebrating, or if your birthday hasn't come up yet, let me know what day is your birthday so we can celebrate you. Wishing you a very happy birthday though, and let me know what your plans are. That's going to be fun to know. So hello there. As you come through, let me know that you're here. And I wanted to just let you know really quickly. That was a tongue twister. I want to let you know really quickly that I am going to be taking like a 2-week break, and then I'm going to resume live streaming on September 4th. Okay, so be sure in the meantime and in between time, this would be a good time for you to go back and catch up on any replays, right? Any episodes that you've missed of this live stream show, the Resuscitation Room. We've been doing this. This is our 12th episode. So doing this now for 3 months exactly. So if you haven't caught up on all of that, this would be a great time to do it, and to subscribe to my YouTube channel for any content surrounding health and healing, mindset, right? And business and career related topics. So if you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel or didn't even know I had a YouTube channel, you can go catch me over at One Shared Vision. Okay. Just like here on all of my platforms, one is spelled out ONE, shared, past tense, vision, singular, One Shared Vision. Be sure to check me out. Okay. Anywho, welcome back. Welcome if this is your first time. Welcome back if you've been rocking with me for a while here. This is, again, our 12th episode of our live stream show here on Facebook. What's up, Facebook fam and friends? LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram. Hello to everybody. I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for joining the Resuscitation Room. This is your weekly dose of business vitality, right? This is your sanctuary where we are breathing new life into businesses and legacies on the brink. It don't get no better than that, right? We're breathing new life into businesses and legacies on the brink. We are going from flatline to frontline, flatline to frontline, okay? And that's important because it is in this room that dreams get a second chance, not just to survive, but to thrive. Okay. And so that is what we need to be doing this season, right? And every season hereafter. Like, this is what life is about. Being able to exhale, right? And just having a sanctuary to come to talk about these things in a platform format, or on this platform in a safe space where we can have these conversations. Okay. And so if you're not new here, you already know what to do. But in case you're new, go ahead, girl, and grab your favorite breakfast beverage. I always say breakfast beverage, but depending on what time it is for you. Okay, for me, I can do breakfast all day. I can do breakfast beverages any time of the day. Okay, so I tend to say that. But whatever it is for you, if it's evening for you and you want to grab you a glass of wine or some champagne, right, or a mimosa for like a brunchy kind of feel, or, your coffee, your tea, hot or cold, for me, I'm always switching it up. I am drinking, what is this? This is my pineapple coconut juice that I have here this morning. It's so delicious. And yes, you already know I got it from Trader Joe's. Okay. So coconut. No, I didn't get this one from Trader Joe's. My bad. I got it from a different store. But anyhow, it's really delicious and it's very refreshing. So let me know what you're sipping on this morning, okay, or afternoon or evening. So hello to everybody. Pull up a chair, sit on a chair, get cozy on the couch, whatever you need to do. Come close to me. Let's feel each other's energy, okay? I want to make sure that we are prepared for this conversation. Also, be sure that you're grabbing pen and paper because you need to be taking notes as I'm dropping some gems or just sharing something that is really meaningful, that has depth, right? That might be substantial and applicable to your life as it should be, okay? And so this is going to be good. I can't wait to have this conversation. But listen, this is your series, your front row seat to turning critical conditions into unparalleled success stories, right? Unparalleled successes, right? Okay, so every single week we are peeling back the layers, y'all, to these conventional success narratives so that we can reveal the heart-pumping, soul-stirring truth beneath it all, right? In other words, what do I say every week? I'm throwing you a lifeline. Go ahead and take it, okay? So that we can get into the underlying issues that's keeping you still stuck and stagnant or not moving forward, right? Not progressing, not further along like you should be, want to be, desire to be, right? Working hard to be, which is something we're going to talk about too. And we are wanting to make sure that we are reviving your vision as well as your dreams, right? Your empire and renewing your entire life, right? We are empowering you to have the tools, the resources, the strategies, the systems, and the soul to do it all, right? So I'm going to take a sip of my drink, but as you come in here, make sure you let me know that you're here. Say hello. All right. I hope everything is all good here on my Instagram. I don't know. Sometimes it's just so weird how Instagram shows up, but I'm feeling a little glossy and flossy over here, a little saucy and sassy and sexy over here. Okay. I got the glow going on. All right. A little bit is true. I got a little glow going on over here too, right? Just not all the sparkly vibrancy that's happening over here on Instagram. So anyways, yes, as you arrive, hashtag live. And if you're catching this on the replay, hashtag replay and let me know that you've watched this at a later date. And welcome to you, those of you who are in the future. Hello, okay? If you've been rocking with me for a while, let me know that you are true OGer, that you're true. Drop true in the chat. Can I talk today? I'm having a lot of tongue twister words, though. Have you noticed? All right. So the challenge at the end of this is going to be to say those words 3 or 4 times fast. Okay, let's go with 3. So anyways, again, and so if you're here right now in real time, hashtag live, and let me know if you're true to me or if you're a newbie, drop newbie in the chat if you're new here. All right. Hey, be sure to invite your business bestie as well and your entrepreneur entourage. Let's get more people in the room. All right, let's get into it, y'all. Listen, in case we have not met, hello there. Hey, hi. I hope you all are having an amazing, wonderful, that life is just treating you well. My name is Katrina Marie, also known as the Boss Chick Biz Coach and your fearless leader. I am a holistic business coach and an RN health and wellness educator, and I help high achieving entrepreneurs, women entrepreneurs, okay, and successful career women who are in corporate America desiring to transfer out of their 9-to-5, their job, their career. They're over it already. They're so over it. And I teach you how to build an aligned and profitable online brand in business without sacrificing your soul and sanity or compromising your health and happiness. Okay. And not only am I qualified to do this work, I am passionate about this work. I tell you this every single week, and I'm not going to stop saying it, how uniquely positioned I am because of my journey, because of my story, because of my own healing process, right? We talk a lot about that. And, because of my educational background and my over 3 decades in corporate America, in my over 2 decades as a nurse, as a clinician. And I've worked in the healthcare industry for the same amount of time, 25 years to be exact. I worked in the healthcare industry and counting, okay, because I still do seasonal work. I still do keep my clinical knowledge and my skills sharp and strong, right, and solid. I want to make sure that all of that hard work I put in over those years does not go to waste. And so I'm always actively participating somehow, some way in the nursing spectrum. And so my career has been wide and broad and varied. Again, it's been a long tenure, right, in that space. But mental health and wellness is really my baby, right? That's really my love, and all things health, to be quite frank. Okay, but that's just something, health and wellness in general, but specifically mental health and wellness is something that I'm really, really passionate about, and I talk a lot about. And so I've been coaching and consulting for the last decade, and I've owned and operated my own online coaching and consulting business for the last 8 years, Shared Visions by Couture. And some of you know me because you've been following me for a while. You've been in my audience for a while. Some of you have worked with me, and so you know all about it. But listen, I also took my first official self-care sabbatical back in 2020. And in my first kickoff of this series, the very first episode we did, I break all of that down. So if you want to listen to that episode to get a more in-depth, like how this all came about and all of that, be sure to check that out. Okay. But I say all that to say that I am intimately connected to what you all are going through, right? Those of you who have similar backgrounds. So I know firsthand what it is like to be burnt out at the bedside as a nurse, right? As a clinician, I know what it is like to be busy and burnt out and bogged down in business. And I know what it is like to be battling seriously in the courtrooms too, as a legal nurse consultant, but battling in the boardrooms is more specifically what I wanted to say as a leader. Okay. And so, fair warning, really quickly, my gardener is still here. He's been here for a couple of hours now, so he must be doing some extra stuff. If you hear the loud blower, I apologize in advance, but hopefully you can still hear me. Okay, it is what it is. We're live, and anything can happen during a live, right? But anyways, so I have worked specifically with, namely, women, right? I've worked with all populations of people, all ages, genders, and the like. Again, it's been a very long time I've worked in the healthcare industry, but I specifically work with women of color, women of the LGBTQ plus community, and many women, mostly over 40. Okay. And so these women who end up in the hospital usually due to significant stress and burnout. And oftentimes that is because they are, should I say, I don't want to say victims. I don't like to play people with that word, right? And say the word victim. But they've just been a part of that hustle culture, right? Or just working hard and hard worker like a badge of honor. They're workaholics, recovering workaholics like myself, right? Some of them not so much if they landed themselves in the hospital, but they've been stressed out, they've been burnt out, and the headaches, the heartaches, and the health issues that they've experienced and that often you experience, whether you know it or not, is oftentimes due to the hustle culture, right? Is due to the excessive hard work and due to you working a toxic job or in a hostile work environment, which can be disruptive to your home life. And if your home environment is also hostile or toxic or dysfunctional in some way, that just adds to it, right? That compounds the problem. And so these women, I, once upon a time was where you are, perhaps, right? We have gone through this. We have these unique challenges because of our drive for success, because of our strive for excellence, right? Black excellence, specifically for those of us who are Black and brown people, right? Women, in our relentless pursuit of happiness, in our relentless pursuit of dreams, and despite our academic successes and our professional achievements, you may find your business, like I once did, in your personal life in a state of distress, right? In a state of distress. And yes, it is true that many of you may have secured the bag, may have secured to some degree your future, but at what significant personal cost, right? Your relationships could be suffering, your health, right? All of may have taken a hit. Your once vibrant dreams are now dimming under the weight of your sacrifices. And so is it worth it, is the question I beg of you to ask, or to ask yourself and to answer, because I'm really asking you the question right now. So let me know if this hits home with you, right? Let me know if this resonates with you, if this pulls on your heartstrings, because I know it does for me every time I talk about it, because I lived it. So I know exactly what it feels like and what your pains are. And I want to hit on those pain points every single time we're having these discussions, because it's not a lot of people that's having these discussions in the way that I am. Okay. So believe me when I tell you, I really do truly get you and you and you. I get you. Okay. And so that is the very reason that I'm uniquely positioned to do this work. It's why I'm passionate about this work. It's why this matters. It's why I am the subject matter expert on these topics, right? And it's why I am equipping you with my proprietary system, right? The legacy ladder framework, which I talk about often on this platform, or these platforms in social, right? When we're doing these live streams, because these were designed specifically with you in mind to revive your business and renew your life. And this is why I am deeming it, or coining it, to be the CPR and AED of entrepreneurship. Okay. So that's important for you to know. And it's also important for you to know that this is very near and dear to my heart, because again, like I said, I lived it, but I've worked with women who also have lived this, right? Where they are just tired, exhausted of the hustle, of the excessive hard work, of the strive for excellence, Black excellence, any kind of excellence, right? The climb on the corporate ladder, the unfulfilledness that the being underappreciated and underfulfilled, right? Or under appreciated and underpaid and overworked, and all of that comes with corporate America, but also comes with business too. Like, you're not exempt just because you left corporate or making that transition, because it happens to us in business as well, right? Because we don't realize oftentimes that sometimes we leave the corporate environment thinking the grass looks greener on the other side, and we don't realize that not only were we a slave to our corporate jobs, but now we're a slave to our own businesses, because we didn't know what comes with the territory, right? So I'm here to expose that, to reveal that to you, and let's talk about it, right? Although we won't specifically be talking about that today, but that's the work that I do. And so we're tired. We're just over it already, right? We're tired of juggling the demanding corporate roles where high salaries come with an even higher expectations and unrealistic demands. It can be difficult when you're dealing with that, and you're the primary breadwinner, right? You are the primary breadwinner for your family. You are shouldering the responsibilities of your household. You are holding it down in your relationship. You are possibly the caretaker of aging parents, and sandwiched between your aging parents who might have taken ill, who might need your help more than others, right? And you're taking care of your own household, and you're also assisting your adult children in some way, whether you're supporting them financially, or they had to move back home, or they're going through some sort of crisis or whatever. But that's a lot, right? Feeling that added pressure on top of running a business can just amplify those challenges. And so, and all you want is more peace, more pleasure, more profits, right? And more power and control over your situation. All you want is to satisfy your craving for doing the work that you love to do, the work that you're passionate about doing, and getting paid for it, to make an impact and to be an influence on the people you care about, the communities that you want to be a part of, the causes that are worthy of donating to, the charitable contributions you want to make to society, right? The clients you are called to serve. And so that is a lot to be challenged with, right? All you want to do is find life work balance, because I'm going to place an emphasis on life. Hello there. I'm going to place an emphasis on life first, because life should always super exceed work. Work is just a small carve out of life. Okay. So it's always life first. And we should be growing our businesses around our lives, not the other way around. Okay, that's really, really critical to your success. Trust me, I know how. Ask me how I know, because I've done it. I've done it the other way around, and it's the worst thing I could have done. It's the worst decision I could have made, because then you get caught up in all of the everything that business comes with, and before you know it, you're drowning in the intricacies of business, and you don't even realize that every other area of your life could potentially be damaged because you're neglecting those areas. And it's super important that we don't neglect ourselves, right? Because self-care is priority, or the people we care about the most and loved. And so those people in our love circles, friends, family, we want to make sure we're taking care of them as a priority as much as ourselves, right? But certainly not putting business and work first. So, we've got to find a healthy balance. We've got to make sure our health is a priority, our healing and our happiness comes first at all times. Okay. So I want you to be able to make a significant impact and leave a lasting legacy for your family while maintaining your well-being and your inner peace. And that's what this is what this is all about. And that's why I've been doing this live stream. And that's what the resuscitation room is for. Again, it is your sanctuary to come get a dose of business vitality. Okay. So all that to say, let's go ahead and get into today's conversation. Visionary voices is what we're talking about today. Last week, in case you didn't catch me live, we talked about marketing mastery and innovative strategies for the modern entrepreneur. Okay, this week we are talking about visionary voices and how women leaders build a lasting impact. Okay, so that's going to be super important for you. Make sure you're paying attention. If you're here, make sure that you have pen and paper to write with. Ask your questions, drop your feedback in the comments, and I'll get to them throughout this conversation or at the end if I've missed you. Okay, so I want to talk about the celebrity women leaders first. Okay, because that's really what it's about. It's about the women who have already paved the way before us and who have passed the baton to us, right? Paved the way for us and passed the baton to us. And now we need to take it and run with it and win with it. All right. So the women in leadership roles, I mean, they don't just have to be celebrities. They can just be iconic figures. We're just going to be talking about people that we know, household names and such, and, and what they did and how they contributed to society and to humanity. Okay. So, but the women in leadership roles can have a significant impact, right, on society by bringing diverse perspective and leadership styles that lead to innovation and unique collaborations. And we do amazing things. Listen, we do amazing things individually. Yes, we do, for sure. But we cannot get further ahead faster, and we cannot do it all alone. We need partners in life, right? And we women collectively, we are a force to be reckoned with, because there is power in numbers. So when we get together, baby, expect the unexpected, because we be doing the damn thing, okay? And so what do we do specifically? We together build bigger and better communities. We make bigger impacts. We create more inclusive opportunities, right? We foster a gender balanced leadership experience. We inspire the next generation of women to succeed in leadership, in business, and we lead by example so that we can show them the way and pass the baton to them to run with it and win with it, right? This is a marathon. It's not a sprint. We need to keep it moving, right? And it's a constant process to make the progress we need to make. So these are women, or there are women who are trailblazers, right? Women who have done some significant things as a leader, right? Who have incredible journeys, but there are some specific ones who represent a legacy of unparalleled achievement, right? So let's just take it back a bit. If we could turn back the hands of time, I'd like to just do that so that we can have this conversation, and then we'll bring it current to some women who are in current times, who also are trailblazers, who have done some incredible things, who have made some significant feats in life, right? and who have shown us that that there's nothing too impossible, right? So let's start with Harriet Tubman. Of course, we all know who Harriet Tubman is, right? And what she's best known for, which is her relentless efforts in liberating slaves in the Underground Railroad movement. She was instrumental in the abolishment of slavery and freedom of slavery, right? Or freeing slaves, I should say, for our freedoms is what I meant to say. Then there's Rosa Parks. Of course, we know who Rosa Parks is, right? Still to this day, I think about her courageous act, back in the day. She is somebody who was most known as, what is she? The mother of freedom movement, the mother of freedom movement, for her courageous act of defiance to give up her seat on the bus because she was tired as hell. She had worked a long, hard day. And she was like, enough is enough. And no, I'm not moving, right? I'm not getting my butt up off this seat. All right. And this was back in the 50s on the Montgomery bus. What was that? Alabama, right? So that was something that was, can you imagine back in the 50s? Okay. That this is something she took a stand on. So that was a brave act as well, right? Then we have Bessie Coleman, who you all may or may not have heard of. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you have. But she was a Texas native, and she was the first Black woman who got her pilot's license. Okay, did you all know about her? She got her first Black woman to get her pilot's license in the U.S. But back then, it was not legal for her to get her aviation permit in the U.S. So she had to go to France, where it was legal for Blacks to they were legally allowed to get their aviation permit, and then she could come back to the States later. So she was somebody, she's definitely somebody to look up to. Like, how many women, first of all, right? And how many Black women or women of color do you know of, or do you personally know who's into aviation, right? Who's flying planes, who's flying? That's like kind of crazy because it's just almost unheard of. So she was that one, the first one. And then there's Josephine Baker, right? She's one of the most popular performers of all times, one of the greatest hits of all times, who also fought alongside Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. in the fight of justice and equality. Okay. Who else? There is Shirley Chisholm. Do you guys know about Shirley Chisholm, a native Brooklyn, New Yorker? Yes, to my Brooklynites, right? She was the first Black woman to be elected in the U.S. Congress in 1968. I'm pretty sure that was the year. I wanted to say 1965, but no, 1968. I'm pretty positive. Yes, and then she went on to become one of the founding members of the Congressional Black Caucus. Isn't that so dope, right? So these are women who were the first of their kind to do the unimaginable and the unthinkable, and yet they persevered, right? And they are exceptional women leaders, and they left an amazing legacy behind, especially when you think about the era that they did these things in. That's just so amazing. So I did, of course, want to mention the women of more current times that you might be more familiar with, because I would be remiss not to. So let's start with the late and great Dr. Maya Angelou. She is one of my most favorite people on this planet Earth, okay? And I know she's no longer with us. God rest her soul. But she was a Black writer, right? And an activist known for her very distinct voice that Oprah does so well. I cannot do that voice if I tried. And she's also known for her best-selling book, which I, being an avid reader, love this book. It's one of the first books many years ago that it totally changed my life. And it's titled, I Know Why the Caged Birds Sing. Have you guys heard of that? Have you read it before? You have to read this book, okay? If you're an avid reader like me and you want to read, just talk about a soul-stirring book, a life-changing book, that book is it, okay? I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. I love that book. And then, of course, Oprah, Miss Oprah Winfrey. Like, how we cannot listen, Oprah is Oprah, right? It's no way we can talk about legacy leaders and women who have paved the way and women who are doing significant things, making a monumental impact in life without mentioning Oprah, right? I did talk about her in depth a little bit more last week, so I'm not going to do that this time. These are just quick mentions. But we all know her story, right? She's become a big household name, of course. And so she grew up in extreme poverty in Mississippi and then went on to become, years later, the first, okay, Black, not just Black woman billionaire, the first Black billionaire and media mogul, okay? Like, that is just mind blowing, is it not? And then someone else who has a distinct voice, similar to that of Dr. Maya Angelou, but a distinct voice of her own, of course, is Nina Simone, a powerful, powerful jazz singer, right, with a very unique voice and very unique style. She left an indelible mark in the music industry, and not just for the jazz people, right? All kinds of genres of music was influenced by her. And so I still to this day listen to me some Nina Simone, honey. She is one of my all-time favorite artists for sure. Okay, let me know how many of you are out there are also Nina Simone lovers. I love her music. Marsha P. Johnson, and she was born actually as Malcolm Michaels Jr. Okay, she was the first self-identified drag queen and openly gay liberation activist back in the 50s and the 60s, long before RuPaul, honey. You better work, okay? Long before RuPaul. Sanche, long before that era, okay? Long before. So, and that's shout out to my queens out there, my queens for real, okay? And to my LGBTQ peeps who know what I'm talking about, especially if you're of my age, okay? We know all about the Sanche and Shantae and You Better Work and all that, okay? And the Vogue and all the things, okay? That's what we was doing back then, all right? 3 circles, a bag of chip, and the RuPaul mix. I mean, you guys know what I'm talking about. You know where I'm coming from. And then arms. Who's that? Michelle Obama. Everybody wants to get her arms, right? Everybody's like, I want them Michelle Obama arms. Child, I'm still working on me some Michelle Obama arms. I don't know when it's going to happen. Okay, because it ain't happened yet. But yes, she for sure was a great, she's a well-known name, right? She is, we all love Michelle Obama. We love Michelle Obama. She is our first African-American first lady of the United States of America, right? Oh, Barack Obama's wife, right? She has done so many incredible things while she was in office, while she held that position in the White House, right? But what I most know her for, I mean, I know her for a lot of things that she's done because I've done a lot of research on her and read her books and all of that. Excuse me, but one of the most incredible things that I think she's done, considering I'm a health and wellness advocate myself, is that she initiated rather, the promoting of the health and wellness for kids in America who were not just overweight, but obese, right? Because of the epidemic obesity that we have, or that's centered around what am I trying to say? The crisis, if you will. It was seriously a crisis and still is an epidemic in our Western society in the US, right? We still have an obesity epidemic, but particularly amongst children. She was catching them early on and putting programs into place and partnering up with schools for healthier foods and all of these things. And at a time where obesity was really, it was on the rise, right? So it was really important for her to, and I took part in that initiative, by the way, locally. So that was just so great. I love being a part of that. And I just think she's done some amazing things, but all of these women have, right? So these are women who still to this day, whether they are alive or they have since passed and transitioned, they still deserve a standing ovation, right? They still do to this day, because not only for their achievements, right, but the challenges that they had to overcome, which we're not going to go too deep in today because we simply don't have time to. But just, can you imagine, right? Can you imagine what they had to deal with back then? or whenever it was for them that they were going through the challenges. Because, you cannot reach any level of success without there being challenges, because that's just life, right? Life deals us these challenges, and we have to learn how to overcome them. So let me know if any of those names were new to you, and if you've learned anything as far as any of the names I mentioned. Like, Bessie Coleman I had heard about, but I hadn't really read much of her story until a few months back, maybe, and then I just kind of revisited that because I wanted to have this conversation today and bring up her name. But she was somebody who was more new to me. But let me know who it is that maybe somebody I didn't even mention that you can think of who are trailblazers, right? Who have done some incredible things in their lifetime and who are paving the way for us and leaving a long-lasting legacy. All right, but let's talk about the challenges that we have to overcome and that these leaders have had to overcome, and that we women who are legacy leaders now and visionary voices now have to overcome from where we are and where we're striving to ultimately be. What are the challenges that we are faced with, right? Because there are many challenges that are unique to women of color, but there are some challenges that are unique to women collectively, right? Women leaders collectively. And so, and we face these things in our careers as much as we do in our businesses. So that would be things like poor life-work balance, which we talked about, poor quality of life, right? Shouldering enormous responsibilities in our households, in our careers, in our businesses, sometimes in other people's households that we might be taking care of, again, like aging parents, adult children or what have you. That's a lot to deal with. Toxic jobs, hostile work environments, gender inequality in the workplace, right? In our careers and in business, especially when we're considering our non-colored counterparts, right? And then there's imposter syndrome, and that's real, but it's not, right? Sounds contradicting, right? But it is. And the reason for that is it's real in the sense that you're making it real because it's real to you up here, but it's not real because it only resides here. And only you have control of what's going on up here, right? So you have control of your thoughts and you have control of your behaviors and your actions because of how you're thinking, and your emotions because of how you're feeling. And your actions are driven by and your behaviors are driven by your thoughts and your feelings and your emotions. So imposter syndrome is real in the sense, again, that you're making it real, but it's not real because it only exists up here, right? So you have control of getting rid of that and eliminating that and making sure that you are healthy in your mind, body, and soul. So of this short list that I mentioned, poor work-life balance, shouldering enormous responsibilities and all of that, imposter syndrome is the one thing I can say for sure has become a major issue for women of all levels and across all industries, especially those who are working in male-dominated industries. Because women who are high achievers, A-type personalities, high performers, overperformers, right? I, again, am a recovering workaholic. I know all about it. I'm still a high achiever, no longer so much an overachiever, but I know exactly what this feels like. And so you may too, right? Understand what it is, but we tend to be perfectionists, right? We tend to be perfectionists. And so we don't even need anybody else to place unrealistic expectations on us because we're doing that to ourselves. Right? We're being unrealistic with ourselves. We're being hard on ourselves. We're being critical of ourselves, right? And we're feeling as though we're being harshly judged by those in our environments and by virtue of the environments that we work in. Especially, again, if it's in a male-dominated environment. So, I feel like there's a lot of time and mental bandwidth that is being placed on doubt and fear, to the extent that these type of women you perhaps, me at once upon a time, we end up overperforming or underperforming or overcompensating or people pleasing. And that really can turn out to be disastrous, right? The outcomes, if this is not managed, meaning imposter syndrome, these behaviors that follow, because they're the undertones of what imposter syndrome is, can turn out to be disastrous, right? And that's not healthy it's not healthy in any aspect of our lives, right? And it certainly can be a hindrance. And some of the most prominent women leaders whose names you know, who exude a high level of confidence in are super successful women, believe it or not, are dealing with imposter syndrome. For example, celebrity women like Lupita Nyong'o, right? Lupita Nyong'o, I believe is how you say her last name. Bella Hadid, Emma Watson, Tina Fey, and I mentioned her just a little bit ago, someone else who admittedly deals with imposter syndrome still to this day. Can you guys guess what it is? Who it is? Let me know while I take a sip. Who do you think it is? I just named him. I named this person like just a few moments ago. Michelle Obama. Believe it or not. And isn't that hard to believe? So when she said this openly, I just thought, no way. But you never know what somebody's dealing with on the outside just because they look the part on the outside, right? And I was one of those people too, who I looked like I had it all together on the outside, but inside I was crumbling. I did not have it all together at all. Okay. Let's tell the truth and shame the devil, honey. I did not have it all together, but I looked like I did. I spoke like I did. I behaved like I did. And I was just a whole big old mess inside. So I know that imposter syndrome, I have gone through that phase myself years ago, but no more. And there is certainly a way to deal with that, strategies that you actually need and can utilize to deal with imposter syndrome if that's something you're dealing with right now. Okay. And they each have their different ways of how they overcame these significant obstacles that I mentioned, and particularly imposter syndrome. And I would say, even though they had their own ways of dealing with it, the one common denominator, in reading their stories that I found to be true as to how they best dealt with it was the most effective way that they managed it, imposter syndrome that is by being their most authentic selves. Authenticity has been the key for many women to get beyond imposter syndrome. Authenticity. Simply by being who they are, who they naturally are. And that sounds so simple, doesn't it? Seems so simple. But there are strategies and mindsets that continue to help these women succeed. And that is building strong, supportive networks, advocating for equality and equity, and mentorship and sponsorship programs. They're in the right rooms at the right times, right? Being surrounded by a supportive network of others, other women leaders who actually get them, who actually get what they're going through, who understand their pains, their struggles, their challenges, the obstacles that come up, but who also enlighten them and empower them and raise them up in spirit, right? They encourage them. And they have that ongoing support system, which makes them stronger and better than they were, had they not had that support system, right? And so this is really important when you're talking about advancing and when you're talking about evolving in life, in your career, and in business, right? So the women who are paving new paths are some of the women that I spoke of, but it also might be you if you consider yourself a legacy leader, as you should be. Even if you don't have to be somebody like a Michelle Obama or an Oprah Winfrey necessarily. You don't have to be the next Beyonce or the Bessie Coleman or the Iyanla Vanzants of the world. But you can still, in your own right, pave new paths for you and your family and your freedoms and leave a beautiful, memorable, long-lasting legacy. But you can also create it now and live within it each day because it's intentional work, right? So the women leaders I've highlighted today have pioneered new approaches and innovations and movements by being real, relatable, and relentless, by being comfortable in their discomfort. That's important to note, right? Challenging the status quo, finding their sweet spot for success, and showing up just as they are despite the judgment that they face. So, and examples of how these women leaders have broken the norms and created opportunities for others is through entrepreneurship, business ownership, participating in civil rights as activists, for example. I named a few of those women who have done that. Joining the gay liberation movement, being part of the women's rights institutions or initiatives, right? Like the Me Too movement. Just getting involved in politics and other aspects of life that you're committing to your transformation, but also changing the trajectory of your life and that of your bloodline. What are the worthy causes in the community events, and how is it that you're engaging in some of the things that you have going on, right? Or and creating a movement for yourself, or again, laying down the foundation for your legacy. You know, like what kinds of acts are you taking? How are you participating? How are you giving back to humanity? How are you being a part of, a bigger part of society? How are you showing up for the people you are called to serve? What does that look like for you? So I want you to consider these things, because as you're building your legacy, I want you to understand the importance of the courage, of the creativity, of the persistence, of the perseverance, of the discipline, of the determination, of the deliberation that it takes to get to all that you dream of, desire, and deserve. And that's what we talked about a lot today, right? How these women actually got to where they once were, or the impact that they made if they're no longer here, the legacies that they left, or the ones that they're creating still to this day for those who are still alive and thriving, right? That is what each of these women did. Courage, creativity, persistence. That is what each of these women did, because that is what it takes to intentionally work on building your legacy every single day. So as we talk about building lasting legacies, Dr. Maya Angelou once said, and I quote, I've learned that people will forget about what you said. People will forget what you did. But people will never forget how you've made them feel. How are you making people feel in your presence? How are you showing up for yourself, for your loved ones, for the people you care about, for the causes you care about, for the communities and the clients and customers as a business owners that you serve, your neighbors? What good deeds are you doing? What random acts of kindness are you doing? What are you doing to make people feel seen and heard, and that they can be authentically themselves around you. So these women have not only achieved success, but they've also built lasting impacts that inspire future generations, right? It is the residue of their character and their contributions that linger for a lifetime. And that will be true for you, and that will be true for you, and that will be true for me. Also, I want you to take into consideration mentorship and giving back, like I just spoke about. And that's something I talk about a lot here. Gratitude, giving back, paving the way. Right? And the kind of systems that we need to create also for lasting change. So each of these come with their own set of benefits, right? But they all contribute to creating a transformative process, a holistic experience, and productive members of our society, who was also going to be able to one day model our success stories as they become legacy leaders in their own right. And now we're talking about how we have contributed to the next generation, right? So as you continue your entrepreneurial and your life journeys, I want you to be sure that you're going to apply these life-changing lessons and these valuable lessons and these incredible stories to your own legacy. I want you to continue to lead the way and be the first of your kind, the first in your family to break barriers, the first in your family to break generational curses, the first in your family to challenge societal standards, the first in your family to change the generational cycle of struggle, the first in your family to build generational wealth, the first in your family, the first in your generation, the first of your kind, the first in your circle to do something unique and significant and memorable, despite the challenges that you will be up against. I want you to make a mark in this world so that one day the next generation is talking about the monumental impact you made, the wealth you created, and the visionary voice that you were, right? And that's what this is all about. So let me know as we come up to the top of the hour and start to bring this to a close. What questions do you have? What feedback do you have? Let me know if you've enjoyed this episode and if you've been enjoying the episodes of the Resuscitation Room. As I mentioned earlier at the start of this live stream, I'm going to be taking somewhat of a short break here, a couple of weeks. But if you want more content like this, you can always go back and catch the replays. In fact, let me go ahead and put that up here. I'm moderating on my own today, so let me find that. You can catch the replays. There it is right there. That's the link, and I'll make sure the link is in the post for you. If you want to just click on there, you can catch up on however many episodes that you've missed out on. Again, this is our 12th episode, so we've been going strong. We've been knocking out these rounds. We've been going strong. All 12 rounds. We're solid. Okay. So you've got 12 episodes that you can, go back and watch. And then, like I said, be sure to share this broadcast out with others who need to hear the message today. Okay. Who this will be a good message for. And let me know what resonated with you. Again, let me know what light bulb moments you had, what aha moments, right? What hit home for you. What resonated the most with you. Be sure to share in the comments. And if you want to, sit with me for a little while and have deeper conversations offline, I would welcome you and I invite you to join me in the a holistic strategy session. Okay, that is where I am doing a deeper dive into just really, first of all, getting to know you a little bit better. Getting better acquainted, you and me, you getting to know me, my teaching methodologies, my coaching style, ask whatever questions that you might have that you're not asking here, but also it gives you an opportunity to learn more about my 30-day hybrid group coaching program, the Legacy Leaders Lab. It is a 30-day hybrid group coaching program And if you want to learn more about that, I will go deeper into that, explaining exactly what that program entails, more about my CPR and AED frameworks, and how all that kind of ties in together. So the holistic strategy session is really just an info session. It's not any coaching involved, okay? It is for us to get better acquainted and for me to see if you are a good fit for me and if I'm a good fit for you and if this program will be what you need at this moment in time, okay? So you can hop on those every Wednesday, 4 p.m. Pacific time, 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern time, and we can have the conversation, continue it from there. What else? Let me go ahead and drop that link for you here too. And if you have not yet gotten my, hang on, let me find that link for you. Those of you who are over here. This is where I need my moderator because we just got too much stuff going on. All right. So this is just, oh, here it is. All right. So you can join me for a holistic strategy session. Again, 4 p.m. Pacific time, 6 p.m. Central, and 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay. The link is in my bio, InstaFam. If you want to work with me, or if you want to see what other kinds of things I might have that would be useful resources for you, go ahead up to my bio, click the link, and you'll find everything there on my link tree. All right. Also, if you have not yet purchased my ebook, the Mindset Mastery, this would be a good time to do it, especially as we talk about visionary voices and how women leaders built lasting impact. You want to master your mind as well. Since we're talking about imposter syndrome, this book actually sheds some light on that. It's a very interactive PDF guide. It gives you some exercises that you can really work through, practical, tactical tips, right? That you can literally start implementing right away. It gives you inspiration. It gives you encouragement, motivation. It also gives you, talks about how imposter syndrome is a scam. Okay. It's going to teach you how, or learn, it's going to, I'm trying to think of the title of it to give it to you, but it's learning the five pillars for entrepreneurial success. Okay. 5 pillars of entrepreneurial success. And it talks about imposter syndrome being a scam. And that's a really great book for you to dive into, as we are talking about imposter syndrome here quite a bit lately. All right. So we're right on time today. Let's see what else I have for you. If you do want to hop on a one-on-one with me, because I do have people asking me that, I'm going to pop that up here. I still offer one-on-ones, okay? Because sometimes, not everybody wants to speak openly about what they're going through in a group setting, and I get that. So if a group forum does not work for you, feel free to book a business breakthrough, complimentary business breakthrough discovery call. Well, that's just a one-on-one private session with me. I spend about 50 minutes with you, and know again, that is not coaching. When you hire me as a coach, you are making an investment, okay? It's simply for us to get to know each other, me to understand what's going on with you, diving deeper into the underlying issues, and then seeing how I can best support you with and meeting you where you are. All right. So that's my time, ladies. I hope you had enjoyed this. Let me go ahead and take this back down. I hope you enjoyed this live stream show and this series. Okay. Let me know what it is you enjoy most about it. And if you have anything in particular that you'd like to talk about, let me know that as well. Also, let me just quickly say, when I do come back from break, I'll be giving you some tidbits of coaching for sure. Okay. We're going to do some coaching sessions and have some deeper dive discussions like this one, where we're just having candid and courageous conversations. So stay tuned for that. And also go to my YouTube channel at One Shared Visions and subscribe to my channel. And let me know, if you need any other resources that I haven't mentioned here today. All right. So I'm going to tune out while you tune in. As always, and until next time, I am wholeheartedly in this journey with you. Bye for now.